Boris Johnson vowed on Sunday he would not quit as Britain's Prime Minister even if he fails to secure a deal to leave the European Union, saying only his Conservative government can deliver Brexit on October 31. At the beginning of his party's annual conference in the northern city of Manchester, Johnson wants to rally his party with the "do or die" message that he will deliver Brexit by the end of October, with or without a deal. But there are hurdles to clear, not least of which is what Johnson calls the Surrender Act, a law Parliament passed to force the Prime Minister to request a Brexit delay if he has not secured a deal with Brussels by October 17-18 EU Summit. Story continues below. Advertisement. Johnson again declined to explain how he plans to circumvent that law and deliver on his Brexit promise, deepening uncertainty around Britain's biggest trade and foreign policy shift for more than 40 years. People can feel that this country is approaching an important moment of choice and we have to get on and we have to deliver Brexit on October the 31st. I'm going to get on and do it, he told BBC television. Asked if he would resign to avoid having to ask for a delay, Johnson said, "No, I have undertaken to lead the party and my country at a difficult time and I am going to continue to do that. I believe it is my responsibility." Opposition lawmakers have been highly critical of Johnson's reference to the surrender bill, saying his language is stirring even more division in a country that has remained split since the 2016 referendum on EU membership. More than 3 years after Britain voted to leave the EU, both the governing Conservative Party and others are getting ready for an early election, widely expected to be held before the end of the year to break the Brexit deadlock. Polling firm Opinion said the main opposition Labour Party gained 2 percentage points after its conference in Brighton last week, but the Conservatives still held a 12-point lead. Matt Hancock, Health Minister, used the start of the Conservative conference to announce billions of pounds in spending for hospital projects across England, part of a plan by the ruling party to make good on some of the pledges made during the referendum campaign which Johnson helped lead. Story continues below. Advertisement. Story continues below. Advertisement. Labour also used its conference to launch new policies, including plans for a 4-day working week, but has yet to back Johnson's calls for an election, fearful he will lead Britain out of the EU without an agreement before any such poll is held. Though the option of bringing a vote of no confidence in Johnson has been mooted in some quarters, Labour's education policy chief Angela Rayner said on Sunday the party wanted to get no deal off the table before it did anything else. But time is running out on efforts to avoid a potentially chaotic departure from the EU, which many businesses say could hurt the economy and tip the country into recession. The government is expected this week to present proposals aimed at overcoming the main stumbling block in talks, the border between the British province of Northern Ireland and EU member Ireland. So far the two sides have failed to agree how to prevent the return to a hard border if any future UK-EU deal fails to maintain frictionless trade. Johnson said he is still hopeful of securing a good deal, but added that he would not pretend it will be easy. It is certainly true that other EU countries also don't want this thing to keep dragging on, and they don't want the UK to remain in the EU truculent and mutinous and in a limbo and not wishing to cooperate in the way that they would like, he said. Story continues below. Advertisement. There is a strong view across the EU that it is time to move on. Let's block ads. Why?